about this time.
Legacy.
Strap yourselves in.
Legacy.
Let's take you on this ride with Nexxlegacy.
Go.
We a radio station for the people,
Right here for you people.
providing hella heat.
Let's go get it.
Let's get to it. Nexxlegacy Radio, we're coming through your room. Interviews on deck with guests listening to. Hashtag and imagine if it was you. What's happening? We packing with people coming through. How about you? Lace it up, we ready, providing hella heat. Turned up, we racing to it. Track meet. Y'all ready for this journey of a lifetime? This Nexxlegacy agent just like fine wine. Tune in.
Every day.
Nexxlegacy.com.
Yeah.
Getting you ready for this interview. Let's get to it.
Radio station for the people. Yeah.
We got hella heat. We got hella heat.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm Madison, the Nexxlegacy Radio. And I am here with beautiful guests. Not just a beautiful guest, she is CEO of Waking the Warriors Empire. And I have a ton of, not just questions, but giving this woman her flowers for this journey that she have started building this empire and everything under the sun. So I want to welcome Kenyata to the show, my queen.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited and honored to be here.
So before we talk about everything that you're doing in March and just everything period, let me roll back a story that I haven't told you. I had to look it up though, because when I first sought you out, it was November-ish of last year, and I think I was going through like a Facebook journey where I was trying to figure out, like, should I still keep this Facebook up because social media is crazy? I don't know what I'm getting out of it as far as on a business level or something like that. So I stumbled upon your page, and I think one thing that kind of kept me afloat when it came to that was like the fact that you were pushing your journey with the Waking Warriors so organically that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick around just because I ran into your page, absorbing all the things that you were talking about as far as self-love and awareness and mentally and physically fit. I'm a football guy, and I'm usually out there in the gym, and but I want to also get to a certain body type that I could, feel proud of, and certain things like that too. But it was deeper than that. It was just the mental part of what you were trying to show the world in a sense. And I got to give you credit, because I feel like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been on Facebook. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have probably connected, and it could have been a whole different thing, maybe somewhere else or whatever the case may be. But I just really had to dive deep into my appreciation for what you are doing and continue to do and how organic it is. And I got to give you your flowers, queen.
Thank you so much.
So I want you to talk to the listeners about your journey. How did you get started? What made you realize that, you know what, this is the path that I wanted to choose?
That is a loaded question. So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to give you a brief overview of my life history. I grew up in an Air Force family, and I grew up in North Dakota most of my childhood in high school years. And I grew up in a very dangerous, crazy, dark cult. And long story short, I wrote a book about it. It's on Amazon. It's called Church the Awakening, and you can get it on Amazon. So just going through that, I was like actually being groomed to take the place of, because my mother was the one who ran the cult, and it's all I knew, like from birth. I didn't know anything else but that lifestyle. And so I was being groomed to take over my mother's position. And then in my early 20s, I had this awakening. I came to Phoenix to visit my older sister, and I had this awakening. And I was thinking, I was just like, you know what? The things that I've been doing, it just didn't seem right, and it was a very rude awakening, when you're conditioned to think a lot of things, and you don't really, nobody ever really um, thinks for themselves from birth, and so I had to start thinking for myself, and coming out of mind control is a very scary thing. So I want to put my story out there, for people who have been in those situations, because there's, if I exist, I know there's others that exist. And so I started getting a lot of feedback from that, and a lot of people inquiring about getting out of these certain situations, and the mental toughness that it takes to get out of these mind control situations. And so that's where it all started. And it's just been a lifelong journey since.
Wow, amazing. And as I'm getting to know you clearly, I'm getting to know all this real time. And um, one thing that you are talking about is what I feel a lot of people are going through in general when it comes to just where to jump on, where to jump off, how to do it, why should you do it, when should you do it. Sometimes it may take people 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years. Um, but there is a point in time, and I feel like a lot of people's lives where, in my opinion at least, where you're just going to have to be like, okay, the train's going to stop. I'm going to get off and go down this journey because I need to, as opposed to what other people need to as well. Correct?
Right, right. And there's a definite method to the madness, because we've all been conditioned in some shape, some way or form. And coming out of your conditioning takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of mental toughness, and it takes a support system. And if you don't have these things, I can understand why a lot of people don't go through the healing and don't do the work, because it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. And if you don't have that support, and then once you get into it, you start doing these things, the people that used to be in your life supporting the things that you don't want, that are not serving you anymore, start to leave, and it becomes a very lonely journey. But yeah, it's definitely not for the weak, and I have these tools that I've used over the years that have really worked for me. And I really just want to get it out to the public, and help as many people as I can, because I know that we all have this struggle of really just thinking for ourselves. To be honest, we've never really thought for ourselves to begin with. So thinking for yourself, learning who you are, awakening to your power, is what I like to inspire other people to do. So
It will. This is heavy because I feel like I was put on this earth to serve, in a sense, right? So I'm gonna roll back to self-love, because to me, I think it's something that is scary for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, because it makes you very vulnerable to your surroundings of vultures who may take or pick apart what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish. um I think it's a tremendous journey, in a sense, where, for me personally, I'm a giver at heart. I've always been, but also I've always been seeking a lot of what you already nurture and cultivate, that you're giving the public out here right now, as far as embracing self-love. Did that journey start as you were going through your own personal journey? One question. The second one is, it's so vulnerable too, in a sense that you're giving this to so many people out here in the world. What made you decide that, you know what, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure that I buy it for myself and then give back to the others?
well, self-love, people put a weird connotation on self-love. They think it's, going out to get your nails done, or, and those things are wonderful.
Right.
But self-love is actually a, fetal position, crying in the corner, don't know if you're going to make it out journey. Okay, that's like the real deepness of self-love. And us
Yep.
being givers, I'm a giver as well. Um, and I was, compensating a lot for the things that I had trauma with, so I became an overgiver. And so having self love and going into the self love journey means you have to give up that part of yourself for a little while. And you have to stop giving of yourself so much, because once I took back my power, I really had no idea what to do with it, and I really had to just be by myself, go into hermit mode, find a support system that was going to be there for me. And most of the time, I was my own support system, and that's where the mental toughness comes in. And that's where the tools come in, that you have to implement. Otherwise, you'll either fall off, or if your traumatic situations come up and you don't have the support system and you're not implementing these tools, there could be a possibility that you could lose it, because of all the back trauma that you'll be bringing up, out of yourself. So mental toughness is key. And I teach a lot of mental toughness skills, as we are going through our trauma healing, in the workshops that I do.
I'm going to ask you a couple things about the business aspect of what you're doing and what you're building. But also let me ask you this, because you're a giver like I am. Mm-hmm. When I guess I can word it like this, as far as just the receiver part of who you are, because we always have to receive something, be it if it's love or something to that effect. I find it interesting that overgivers like we are find it difficult to receive in some cases, not because we don't want it. It's also because it's just out of our nature to receive. We're more inclined to give. When did it hit that, you kind of feel what I mean? Because it's just different. It's different receiving versus giving.
Right. And it's something you have to get comfortable with receiving, which, that's a very uncomfortable position for us overgivers to be in. But the key is when you can give, because when you're giving out of trauma, you want something back, whether it's a response or, a gift back, or, tit for tat kind of a thing. But when you can give without wanting anything in return, and not even thinking about, and I don't even want anything in return, not even having the thought about it, then you've leveled up in being able to receive and give unconditionally. And that's a journey, because we're so used to it. Even overgivers, when you say, well, I don't expect anything in return, you still kind of do in your heart, because you still kind of want that feeling, and that's a human thing. It's a human thing, but making sure that you're aware of this, and making sure that it doesn't take over, because it is part of the ego, and making sure that you keep all those things in check, and you keep them in check by doing the actual work.
And what kind of work is that, my queen?
So for the work that I've been implementing, there's infinite ways, but the work that I've been implementing is frequency healing, and there's a whole list of different tasks that I do for mental toughness. But the frequency healing is absolutely incredible. You can heal any past trauma. You can heal anything, and illnesses show up in our body because of past trauma.
Right.
And so just like anything else, like if you go to the doctor and like, okay, you got to take these pills, but it's going to take a few times for it to get into your system. That is exactly what frequency healing is like as well, because we are all made up of frequency. Our body's a frequency. Everything is moving. Everything is a frequency. If you can tap into the right frequency, you can immediately heal whatever dis-ease you have in the body. And so it's just consistency, finding those things with consistency. And so I've been doing frequency healing for like the past 7 months, consistently every single day. And whenever I have like an ailment, whether I'm overthinking and I have a migraine or whatever it is, all I have to do now is think about putting on a frequency, and I immediately heal myself. Like my body just does it. It just immediately heals itself.
What makes you think that? Because I hear you say it, I've heard others say it before in past dealings or in things like that, and it works. I feel like it works for myself, so I'm using myself in this same category. There's others out there who are don't want to say if they're non-believers, but they just don't want to take the steps. I used to call it Kenyata generational curses, and it doesn't have to always be bad. Generational curses, to me, you could be the first person to go to college, you could be the first person to buy a house, you could be the first person to fill in the blanks. But also there is a lot of going back to the whole self-love and mental strength and toughness that we all have, those are certain things that you just have to try. Like, I feel like if you don't try, you're blocking yourself off to the many opportunities that you can have for yourself when it comes to self-discovery and anything else, right?
Right, absolutely. And there's just a lot of complacency in society today, with people just being okay with things that are going on. They're just living their life kind of day to day. And so getting out of complacency is hard. And people, oh, I wish I had your motivation to do it. That's no such thing as motivation. It's momentum first,
Yes.
and then you get motivation. You have to get off your ass first and then do something, and then your body just starts to go with that. So it's just a lot of complacency, and people, you just have to make that first step. You have to make that first step, and you have to be consistent. For example, I've been implementing the universal laws, which is another part of the workshop that we'll be doing, and to see these things play out. There were times where I didn't want to do the practice that day because I was annoyed with the universe or like annoyed with my life. But I still kept doing it. And that's when I saw the breakthrough. I see the breakthrough when I don't want to do it and I do it anyway. And that's where
Wow.
people have trouble. They quit. They just quit because laziness. It's too hard. I tell my students sometimes, think about it like this. It's like a hot tub, and it's boiling hot. First, you got to put your toe in, and then you got to put your ankle, and you got to splash a little on your shins, and you can't just jump in there, or you will go into shock, and you could hurt yourself mentally. So it's all about finding the right coach, the right mentor, somebody that's unbiased, that wants to see you shine, that has experience. It's not just something that's in a book that they've read to, diagnose you for something. It's actual life experience, and someone to just keep you on track, and just to kind of give you that encouragement, because you're going to need it.
I think the world needs this, to embrace this. There's a lot of bad habits that anybody can be corrupted by. I mean, hell, you could look on social media right now and you can probably see 500 bad things sprinkled in with maybe like 2 or 3 good things. But it's really going to be a choice whether you go see that car accident or you're going to go back and say, hey, how can I help so and so with whatever's going on? It's really a matter of the mind and what you really want to do moving forward, that I feel like is really important for people to have. Because Kenyatta, I feel like the world's already chaotic as it is. We need good vibrations, good healing, good self-discovery. I feel like if anybody and everybody could do that, we will be okay. No one's perfect, but we will be fine. I'm going to shift over to your business aspect of what you're doing, because I know you have some stuff going on in March that I want to talk to you about. And as you discuss that, how has the journey of this business, getting this product out to the world, been for you over the course of time?
It's definitely been the journey of a lifetime. It is still progressing. Every day I learn something new, something different. And I'm getting in touch with my ancestors and my guides and spirit, whatever you want to call it, universe, however you want to call it, spirit to you. And my thing is, whenever I speak out something, this has always been just a trait that I have, or a gift that I have. I'm always tested on it. I'm always like, I have to get in there and get my hands dirty first, before I have everybody else do it. So I have a lot of experience of falling down on my face and getting back up. And, a lot of people have imposter syndrome and they don't even know who they are. And for example, I was with the company for about 5 years before I started my own company. And it served a purpose, because I went into that company with my trauma. And through that company, I came out of my trauma. And then I felt it was time for me to venture off and explore my own way of doing things. And once I stopped that, I literally had no idea what to do with myself because I identified with that trauma and with that company. And, so it was really, really, really tough for me to leave my comfort zone. And that's where people get tripped up. It's just like, if you could just take that step and leave your comfort zone, spend the money, whatever you got to do, and just do it. That's the toughest part, is that one step to just make the decision to do it. Because once you do it, just be ready for it, the tower moment. You're going to have the tower moment and you can't get away from it. That's just what it is. But, people
Right.
just, they like comfortability. And so it's up to the individual.
Listen, we all love our comfort zone, but in order for you to do more, you have to become more. In order for you to become more, you have to get out of that comfort zone and be pleasantly uncomfortable to do something that you was put on this earth to do. And
Mm-hmm.
your journey is similar to my journey. We've kind of talked about it before, as far as the path that we've taken, the times that we've fallen down, the other times that we've gotten back up, the other times that we've shared our stories, the other times that we haven't gotten any, other outlets of motivations. And sometimes it takes the circle being smaller than ever in order for you to continue to look at a reflection, to continue the path of doing more, to become more, right?
Right. And you have to also keep in mind that what you're going through, there's always a bigger picture. And I know that's so hard to see when you're in it, but if you can just hang on, if you can just hang on and push through, the other side is always something spectacular. Always, never fails.
What's going on in March? Talk to me.
Okay, so in March, it's called Miraculous March and mentorship, and we're so excited because I'm going to be implementing, of course, a fitness program as well as a nutrition program, because making sure the avatar is in good health and feeling good. This is not about losing weight, unless that's your goal, but it's about feeling good in the avatar and in your mind, so that you can implement these tools. So we're going to have a specific fitness program as well as a meal program tailored to each person. So I'll be talking to each individual to make sure I get their goals and make sure we have the right program for them. And we're also going to be implementing the universal law, which I have a workshop that we're going to be doing together, implementing the universal law, um, and also frequency healing. And so the goal is to put our goals and our dreams on paper, on a board, however you want to do it, implement these tools. And by the end of the workshop, we want to, all of us will be witnesses of everyone else's materialization of what they desire.
Amazing. Um, and where can people sign up, go grab, support, etc.?
Yes, they can go to my website, or you can go to my link tree. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to post it here or not, but you can go to my link tree or awakenthewarriors.com, and just click on monthly mentorships, and the information is there. Or you can go to my link tree and you can sign up right there. And then what I'd like to do is, when you fill out that form, I will get in touch with you and we'll have a one-on-one conversation, so I can meet you, feel the energy, make sure this is something that we are both in on together. Make sure we match, our energies match, and then I make sure that you're set up. You have to go in not knowing, like everyone else, like, okay, I have to know everything. What can I do? No, all you need to do is fill out the form and then talk to me, and then we can move forward from there, because people get so caught up in wanting to know every single detail before they do it. But in this mentorship, you can't. In life, you can't know everything. So, so my suggestion is, if this is resonating with you, if this is something, what, I feel like I need to change, I need to do something different in my life, this is your sign. This is your calling right here to wake up. And I would just love to assist you in that and be your mentor in that. So go to wakingthewarriorsempire.com or my link tree.
No doubt. If you're getting your breaks done, you don't need to know all the ingredients of the brake fluid. You just know you need it in order for you
Right.
utilize it or use it. So I mean, it's that simple. But here's what I'm gonna do. I haven't told the Queen CEO of Waking the Warriors Empire yet, but if you do subscribe to this young lady's membership, next and more details will follow, because my queen and I will be able to give you all the details. But anyone that does and sustains their membership, they will grab a $25 Amazon gift card on behalf of Nexxlegacy Radio. So if you really are about
Amazing.
change, if you, and this goes out to all the people who will be subscribing, and I'm dead serious when I say this, anybody who's serious, and this is just a gift. It's not just because we need or we would like. We want you to take a look at who you are, where you're at, what you want to be, how you want to be, and be dead serious about growth, change for yourself, not because it's the moment. So we give gifts in that direction when it comes to that. So Waking the Warriors Empire and Nexxlegacy Radio is going to be joined forever because we believe in this path, right? So anybody out there who is willing participants on subscriptions will grab that, and more details will follow.
Thank you so much. That is incredible.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you cool with that, Queen CEO? You're good?
Yes, I'm absolutely. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I can't wait to tell everybody. Thank you so much.
That's what we do. And I believe, and I told you this before, but I believe in what you're doing. I really and truly, when I told the story earlier, it was because eventually I was going to have to come back full circle, because maybe I was maybe afraid of looking at myself in the mirror as well before I was able to look at you and be motivated as well by the journey. But also, this is very important for preservation of growth amongst human beings. And I think taking these steps in these journey is important for how we all evolve, right?
Right, absolutely. And everyone's just the past few years, we've all been scammed and lied to so much that trust is just like non-existent. And so we all have to just try to learn to trust again. We just have to learn to trust again and learn to just be like Bruce Lee and flow like water. If it doesn't work out, just flow like water and go to just keep flowing. So just release it, jump in. If it doesn't work, who cares? If it works, wonderful, but just trust again.
So how many times are you going to shoot that ball and it's not going to go in until you actually get a chance to actually shoot it and make it, and maybe make another and another and another, but you got to keep trying. And I think it's a testament in so many different metaphors to life in balance, because I feel like there is a need of it, because we don't need anybody to swing one way or the other. Just be balanced with who you are and what you want to do and where you're going. It sounds simple, but I know it's not easy, but taking the first step of many steps you're going to take is important.
Absolutely. And with these tools that I'm implementing, I was realizing a lot that I talk about what I don't want so much, to the point where my guides stopped me. They're just like, okay, we know what you don't want. Let's talk about what you do want. And I had nothing to say. It took me a while to figure out exactly what I want, because everyone is so focused on what we don't like.
Amen to that. A couple more questions with Kenyata, CEO of Waking the Warriors Empire on Nexxlegacy Radio. In addition to what you have going on in March, do you or can you share any other things that you have in the pipeline going through 2023 and beyond? Or is it more of a let's wait and see, stay tuned, go check my website, subscribe, and we'll let you know the details?
That.
Hey, I already telegraphed that one for you, so there you go. There you go. Kenyata, what about radio station that plays music? What about radio? What's in your playlist these days?
What's in my playlist? I like a lot of like 90s drum and bass jungle. I like a lot of 80s music. I'm an 80s baby. And I like a lot of like Fela Kuti, a lot of uplifting, uh, that type of music. So yeah, Phoenix Afro Beat Orchestra. That's one of my favorite all-time bands. You have got, if you've never heard of them, you must hear them. You must.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Put this
I like
thing
a lot of underground stuff.
on this rotation on this playlist and things like that. And I'm gonna give you the floor. So I want you to shout out who you want to shout out, who you want to shout out, whatever it is that you want. I'm gonna let you have it right now. So floor is yours, Queen.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be on here. You guys are amazing. I just want to shout out my warriors who've been with me since day one. They are doing the workshop with me. They did 22 Tough with me, which was a program that I created from 75 Hard. If you don't know what 75 Hard is, Andy Frisella came up with 75 Hard. It's 75 days of very specific tasks to shift your mindset. And so I came up with 22 Tough, and it's kind of like a start, like a jump start into your personal excellence journey. So if this March mentorship is feeling a little bit like, wow, that is like super, super intense. I don't know if I can do that one. I do have a starter one called 22 Tough. It's not easy, but it's definitely something to check out. So, and all of the warriors went through that, and I saw just tremendous changes in all of my warriors who did the 22 Tough challenge. So shout out to my warriors. Shout out to you, Charles. Thank you so much. And I'm just looking so forward to working with you more in the future. And yeah.
Well, this is an easy beginning to a journey because I knew I believed in what you were doing day one, but it's also taking my own coming out of my shell, I guess you could say, to embrace it. Because, you know, sometimes, listen, we're all humans. We're kind of scared of change or looking at ourselves in the mirror, crazy reflection that you may have. But knowing where your inner peace is and how you feel about yourself, let it radiate across the globe for everybody else to come in contact with. And I think it's a positive start to a lot of good things that I would love to see, not just you and I, but just you and I to be inspiring for others to elevate themselves as they go through their own journey, whatever it is they go through. Right. And I completely believe in you and your warriors. And I just want to stay involved in a lot of different ways. So there's a lot of things that you all will see from what we're going to do. And I just know that whoever is listening will be able to embrace how important this really is, because it's not about us. This ain't for you and me. This is for everybody else who needs to be able to get a shot like this so they can be able to understand that in order for you to do that, you have to do this. And it starts with you.
Absolutely.
And
so maybe you'll do it with me.
Damn right. And I can't tell you how important you are to me already when it comes to this. So this is divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. But I really and truly appreciate not just what you do, but how you do it and how you're giving back to other people. And I'm all in. I'm invested. So my stock in the Waking the Warriors Empire, it's high. It's up there. I'm ready.
Good.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And it's going to draw us closer together, and, you know, just family, and it's going to be good stuff.
Well, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with Nexxlegacy Radio, but y'all out there, this ain't the last time you're going to see her. She going to follow up some more after that. It's going to be a nice journey, and I'm glad you're here with me, and I can't thank you enough.